Hi everyone, and welcome to week 7. I'm just going to give you a quick message this week, and I want to start out by saying that it might look like we don't have a lot to cover this week, but please don't let this short module fool you. This week we're focusing solely on workshopping, finishing, and submitting the ePortfolio project plan. When you list out the tasks for this week, that makes it look like we don't have as much to do, but the goal here is to take the time you might be spending this week on readings and discussion posts, and work on the project plan workshop and project plan revision. Essentially, I want you to be spending a lot of time on this project this week. Why do I want you to spend so much time on this project at this really early stage? Well, this is the first project that you're working on that's directly related to the construction of your ePortfolio website. Sure, your podcast and your video essay will go in the portfolio, but the project plan really lays the groundwork for the ePortfolio itself. It's essential to lay a really strong foundation for this project through the project plan. It's not that things won't change at all as you continue to work on the ePortfolio through the other projects this semester. In fact, I actually expect them to. It's just that the project plan is going to give you a strong sense of your purpose and your audience for this project. And this document is one that you can and should continue to come back to as you create the next steps in the ePortfolio. Do you have a question about what you should do next or a design choice that you're struggling to make? Ask yourself, what's my purpose? How would my audience respond to this choice? And then look back on your project plan to answer those questions. But in order to use the project plan to answer those questions down the road, you have to have a really strong project plan to begin with. So that's why I want you guys to be spending so much time on that this week. So that begs the question, of course, what makes a really strong project plan? My first answer to that might be a little frustrating, but I'm still going to say it. Use the rubric. The rubric should give you a really good idea of what an excellent project plan looks like. But here's another piece of advice. The assignment sheet asks for 1,000 words in the project plan document. Sometimes students like to look at that number as a goal to reach. So once you've hit 1,000 words, I can stop writing and I'll be done. No, sorry. Think of the 1,000 words as a goal, yes, but only as a benchmark. You can hit 1,000 words and still not have a complete project plan. You can still need to keep going. One way to make sure that your project is complete is to consider whether you've answered every single question that is asked in the assignment sheet in sufficient detail. For example, the first question under the purpose category in the assignment sheet or the assignment page is, what is your career objective? Now, you could answer that question with a single sentence. I want to obtain an entry-level tech writing position at a local Northwest Florida business. But that's such a general objective that it's not really going to help you very much when you're consulting this document to help you make design choices. What subfield of tech writing do you want to be in? Medical writing, legal writing, environmental policy making? Do you not have any idea and so maybe want to appeal to all of those things? Maybe a way is maybe a way to start is to Google tech writing jobs in Northwest Florida and see what kind of tech writing jobs are out there. Actually, that's a really good way to start no matter what kind of a career objective you have. You can't really answer the question, what's your career objective, if you don't really have a good sense of what career options are possible. Additionally, an entry-level tech writing job at a local military subcontractor is a great start, so that might be what you are kind of shooting for. But the question also asks about your career as a whole. How long do you want to be in an entry-level position? Do you aspire to management or a supervisory position? Do you eventually want to freelance? Do you want to start your own tech writing firm? Think about how you might answer that career question 5, 10, and 20 years from now. Now, you might not be able to answer that question with any sort of certainty, and that's okay. The point is to answer each question that I ask in the assignment sheet in the project plan with as many details as possible, even if those details are riddled with uncertainty. You don't have to have everything worked out, and you can even use the project plan to think through some of these ideas as you go along. But in the project plan, I want to be able to see the thought you've put into these questions in the volume of your content and how much content you produce. In other words, if you've hit 1,000 words, that's awesome. You're set word-wise. But if you haven't continued to answer all the questions being asked of you in the assignment sheet, you should really keep going. So going in kind of a different direction now, in addition to sufficient content, you want to make sure that your project plan is well organized. You can do this through a couple of things. So you want to make sure that each paragraph has a really good controlling idea, which you'll read a little bit more about in the optional reading for this module. and that you're using visual cues in your document to signal organization. Even though you're writing a primarily linguistic document, you can still use visual cues. You can use headings to signal your organization and use things like larger text, a different style of text, a different color of text to help you do that. We'll learn a little bit more about how to do that in a few weeks, but feel free to go ahead and start experimenting with visual design in your text document. Alright, so that's enough for now. Just remember, be sure to provide plenty of detail and provide strong organizational cues through controlling ideas and visual design cues in your project plan. Happy writing!